Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's video, I will be recapping the round 2 of AFL that was on this weekend. This is a new series I'll be doing on the channel every week after the round's completed. We'll go through a recap. I'll recap my tips and we'll have a look at J21 player of the round. So we're going to do a player of the year series. We're going to start from round 2. I might go back and do round 1 in like another video, but for round 2, we're going to be doing the 3 best players of the round. They can be from any teams, and we're going to do the player of the round. Now, so it might be pretty tough considering that there's only 3 votes from each team. But it's going to make it a lot more interesting who should get the 3 votes from the entire round. So it's not like the Brownlow where every game players get 3 votes, 2 votes, 1 vote. It's just going to be 3, 2, 1, my 3, 2, 1 for the weekend, who I thought were the best players of the round. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed the football. The AFL is back, thank God. I mean, it was so disappointing that we didn't get footy for 10 weeks, but it's finally back. So I've seen everyone comment on Thursday night the match prediction for the Richmond game and the Collingwood game. No one actually got it right. No one predicted a draw. There was a few people who almost got first goal scorer. I think might have been Phillips the first goal scorer, or Thomas maybe the first goal scorer. But I was doing a preview basically on Thursday again, so make sure to look out for that. But we're going to do the round 2 recap, and what a week of football it was. So let's get into it. So we start with the round 2 tips. Let's actually go through the results. So first off, we had the Collingwood Football Club going up against the Tigers in the first game back from coronavirus, and it was a draw. So if you watched this game, I'm sure you did, the first game back. It wasn't the most exciting game of football, but I think you just appreciated it more that the football was back. So it ended up a draw. Collingwood dominated the first maybe 2.5 quarters, maybe the first 1.5 quarters, and then it was all just the Richmond Football Club. The Tigers just couldn't get anything going on the scoreboard. I mean, they only kicked the 5 goals for the match. So did Collingwood, but Collingwood just looked like they ran out of legs early in the second term. They basically their backs were against the wall. It was just Richmond just couldn't run over them. There was a few calls in the game that everyone was saying that could have went one way. I mean, Jack Higgins marked the ball basically in the 3rd row, but the AFL said that was all good. But that was a real. I mean, I was just more appreciative that the game was back on Thursday night. So the final score was 5-6-36 to the Tigers, 5-6-36. So both teams, it wasn't extremely exciting, but at least it was back. Pendlebury finished with 31 disposals. I mean, Pendlebury is an absolute gun. I don't know how he does it. Hooley had 26. Sidebottom had 27. I think Sidebottom had like 20 in the first half, and then he went pretty quiet. Dacos was pretty good for the Pies as well. Cochin had 23 for the Tigers, Martin 20, and I think Tom Lynch finished with 3 goals for the Richmond Football Club. So I tipped the Tigers to win this game. The Tigers didn't get the job done. So I don't think I can really classify that as a tip right, considering it was a draw, but definitely feel like them teams will meet later on down in the year. So we move on to game number 2, and it is the Hawthorn Football Club and the Geelong Football Club. Now, this game was pretty tight throughout the first half, but the Cats just ran rampant in the second half. In Dangerfield's 250, I think it was. Joel Selwood, 28 disposals. Dangerfield, 24. There's been a lot of talk around Sean Burgoyne's tackle on Patrick Dangerfield. Now, I don't know how that wasn't 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I mean, he slung him to the ground. He's lucky he didn't knock him out. I really don't understand how that wasn't a suspension. I mean, they did give their reasonings, but it doesn't really make sense through there. Tom Mitchell returned for the Hawks. He had 22 disposals. He had 9 kicks and 13 handballs. Gary Ablett, though, was the star of this game. He was absolutely on fire. Set up a lot of goals, had 21 disposals, and kicked to himself. Really liked Gary Ablett's game. But the Cats were just a little bit too good. 61-point winners they ran out at Geelong. I think they're going to win a lot of games when they play at home against these types of teams who they usually would verse in basically at the MCG if they were going to play them. I tipped the Cats to win this one, so I got that one right. So that's my first tip of the round. So I'm currently 1 from 2, considering that draw. I will not classify that as anything, considering it's a draw. As we move on to the Saturday games, and the Brisbane Lions took on the Fremantle Dockers from the Gabba. Now, this was a pretty good game. I mean, I didn't really get to watch majority of it, but the Lions ended up winning by 12 points through a late scare through the Dockers. The Dockers, Michael Walters and Fife were just dominating in this game. Fife kicked 3 goals and had 24 disposals. Walters, 28 disposals and 2 goals. But Charlie Cameron was the story of this match. I mean, he really set the tone for the Lions. He was basically unstoppable in the forward line. He kicked 4 goals and had 14 disposals. I definitely think that he will go a long way. If he plays well, the Lions normally play well. So the Lions end up winning that by 12 points. I did tip the Lions, so I'm currently 2 from 3 as we move on to the afternoon game. I think this was the twilight game between the Carlton Football Club and the D's. This was a avalanche from the Melbourne Football Club in the first quarter, 53-54. It was 32-0 at the start of the second term. And then it was just all Carlton after that. I mean, Carlton probably should have won this game. They had many chances to win this. They just could not kick straight in this game. I mean, Clayton Oliver was really good, but the story, I mean, Christian Petrarca was really, really good. He had 24 disposals and kicked 2 goals. He was the catalyst of the Demons winning this match. I feel like if he didn't play this game, the D's probably would not have won this game. But the Demons just scrape over the line. It's going to be interesting to see how they go against the Bombers this week, who are currently 2-0. As we move on to the showdown. Now, the showdown, the Port Adelaide Football Club just absolutely dominated the Crows in this game. I mean, this was over at halftime. The Crows just had nothing. The Power absolutely smashed them in their Prison Bar jerseys. 75-point winners, the Port Adelaide Football Club, 110-35. Just a little bit too good in this game, the Power. Their young stars, Dersma, Rosie, Butters, were just unreal. Stephen Motlop also played really, really well. But Travis Boak was awarded best on ground with 24 disposals and a goal. I think Motlop should have probably got best on in this game, but it is what it is. The Power are currently sitting first with a crazy percentage at the minute, and it's going to be interesting to see how they go in the coming weeks. It's going to be interesting to see how the Crows go, but the Crows have a lot of work to do. As we move on to the game surprise of the week, I would say this was definitely the surprise of the weekend. The Gold Coast Suns winning over the West Coast Eagles. Probably their best win in a very long time. Matt Rowell is the talk of the town, the NAB Rising Star. He had 26 disposals and kicked 2 goals. Watching this game, he is going to be a beast. I mean, coming up against the midfield like Callie, Shuey, Gaff, Elliot Yeo, and the Gold Coast Suns, basically, they after halftime just smashed the West Coast Eagles. They were just too good for the Eagles in this game, and I definitely feel like things are looking up for the Suns. I mean, this is a big win, a big scalp, and some will say that the Eagles have gone to the hub and they're going to be at disadvantage, but still, the West Coast Eagles are a very experienced team. They can win on the road. I just don't really know how they will go in the next few weeks. I definitely expect them to respond, but the Gold Coast Suns getting a very big win, 44 points, and Matt Rowell just unbelievable in this game. We move on to North and the Giants. Now, the North Melbourne Football Club. Now, actually, in saying this, I did tip Melbourne, I did tip Port Adelaide, and I did tip West Coast. So that did leave me at 4 for the week. I mean, 4 is okay so far, but I've still got Sunday. But as we move on to the Giants and the Roos are really, really good in this game. Very surprising. They ran over the top of the Giants in the last quarter, considering they had to travel with the Bombers on the same day. Big win for the Rouge. Jai Simpkins, Sean Higgins, the best game. I mean, I've seen when I was watching this game, they just kept talking about how good the GWS Giants looked on paper. But the props to the Rouge. They got the job done. And it was good to see Callum Ward back as well and Cornelio. But the North, very surprising at the minute, currently sitting second on the ladder with a big win. I tipped the Giants, so I did not get that one right. So we move on to the Bombers and the Swans. The Bombers win this game. They got off to a really hot start, the Bombers. Every single time the Swans got back into the game, the Bombers kicked away. And they were just a little bit too good in the end. Darcy Parish was unreal in the last quarter. He definitely was a standout in this game. Zachy Merritt, 29 disposals. Lloyd, 29 as well. Parker, 25. McGrath was good early as the Bombers get their second win of the year and go 2-0 on the season. And the final game of the season, so I did tip Essendon in that game, if you do remember. Final game of, the season, of the round was St Kilda and the Bulldogs. And now I expected the Dogs to respond in this game, and they absolutely did not. They absolutely got smashed after quarter time. I mean, it was 19-16 at the end of the first quarter, and the Saints just went absolutely ballistic. This is probably the best I've seen the Saints play with all their new recruits and that. I mean, Butler kicked 2 goals. King kicked 2. It's good to see him back in the team. Jones had 29 and kicked 1. The Bulldogs have a lot of work to do if they are going to return to... They were projected to be a top 4 team. I mean, I think they won 7 of their last 9 games to finish the season last year. And I don't think anyone picked them to start the season 0-2. And the way they've lost, they can't put scores on the board. I think they put 34 in the first round, and then only 49 in this round. So I tipped the Bulldogs, so I got that one wrong. I definitely do expect them to bounce back this week against the Giants. That will be a big, big game. But I finished with 5 out of 9 for my tipping. I like everyone's response in the group. In the comments. Like I said, every Thursday night, every first game of the round, I'm going to get everyone to predict the first goal. First goal scorer, the margin, and the winner. I think that'll be a lot of fun. We can do it throughout the season. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before we go, I've got J21 match player of the round. Like I said, this could be any player from any team. With the 1 vote, I decided to give to Petracca. I feel like Christian Petracca he looks so much better than he's ever looked in previous seasons. I really liked. He looks so much bigger and so much stronger. He got the 1 vote. The 2 votes I gave to Charlie Cameron. Just his influence on the Fremantle Brisbane game. If he gets going, the Lions basically get going. And the 3 votes, of course, I had to give this to Matt Rowell. He is going to be a star in this league. I feel like he will propel this Gold Coast Suns team to a spot where they can compete for finals. I mean, they haven't really had a play like this since Gary Ablett, and all their players seem to leave. So let's hope that Matt Rowell sticks around. He did sign a 2-year deal, so it is very good. I also finished with best game of the round. Now, I want you guys to comment down below who should get the 3-2-1 for players of the round, and also best game of the round. So make sure to comment down below. My best game of the round, no, I don't think anyone will agree with me, but I've gone with the Collingwood and Richmond game. Now, I've said this just because footy's back. I mean, it wasn't the most enjoyable game, but at least we had something to watch. The crowd noise was okay. I did like that. I was happy that it's back. The footy is back finally. Hopefully soon we can start going to games, and hopefully soon the season can pick up. Hopefully we can go back to 20-minute quarters as well. But I picked the Collingwood Richmond game as game of the round because it kick-started the season after coronavirus. So I hope you guys enjoyed round 2 recap. 5 out of 9 for my tipping. How did you guys go? Make sure to comment down below what you guys got on your tipping and what games you got wrong. Also, comment down below the best game of the round and your 3-2-1 votes for player of the round. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the round 2 recap. Make sure to look out for some more AFL content, and I'll see you guys in the next video on the channel.